7:12 here at KPEL. It's Nathan and Bernie in the morning. 232-1542 if you'd like to join the conversation with us this morning. Coming up in our next half hour, we'll be talking with Jackie Russo for our weekly Brand Buzz conversation. And then at 8:10, we'll be talking with Todd Starnes. We're scheduled to talk with Todd Starnes from Fox News Channel. But this morning, right now, joining us in studio, we've got One Acadiana President and CEO, Jason L. Koubi. Jason, how are you?
Good morning.
And then we've got Ann Falgout. She's joining us from Vermilion Parish, the economic development team over there. How are you, Ann?
Good morning. I'm great. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And once again, we're talking about One Acadiana. And first of all, Jason, how are things going? Because we know that you've hit a number of milestones. So how are things going since the official, I guess, unveiling of One Acadiana?
Overall, they're going great. We announced a few months ago that with the success of the campaign for One Acadiana, we now have all of the planning, the financial resources, the leadership from across 9 parishes in place to take our region to the next level for our businesses and families. And so what we're doing right now is implementing that strategy. This is the very beginning of a 5-year initiative focused on making our Acadiana region even stronger, even more balanced, even more prosperous, so that we can do everything possible not only to make this place competitive, but to tell our story to the rest of the world, so that businesses that want to locate here, expand here, so that people who might want to come here for their careers know about the great opportunity we have here in Acadiana.
And Ann, how does Vermilion Parish play a role in One Acadiana?
Absolutely. So at a local economic development level, our job is to really build capacity. And we have no better partner than One Acadiana in doing that. You know, whether it's we're talking to our local business community about taking their business to the next level, or we're recruiting businesses from outside of the state to come and locate to Vermilion, we have resources and funding and staff capacity at One Acadiana that we can now leverage for good results.
And you were just named you were just named the head of the economic development team over there in Vermilion Parish just a couple of months ago. So, what's the difference been like? And granted, it's only been a couple of months, but before One Acadiana and after One Acadiana, what's the difference been like?
Well, I think that's the really great thing is that I came on board as One Acadiana was ramping up and closing the campaign, and so Jason and I have been able to coordinate a lot of our efforts. You know, as I build my business visitation program, I can meet with his staff and make sure that our messages align, which has been really wonderful. And then it's just great to have other professional economic developers at our disposal. Being able to collaborate is unique. Most regions don't have 9 parishes engaged actively in economic development with a central repository of information and staff and talent. So just being able to build my program of work and my lines of business based off of what One Acadiana is doing, not duplicating resources, has been so wonderful.
I guess we can call that a sort of synergy of
Absolutely.
sorts. I mean, what Jason, wasn't at the point all along to develop these synergies across not only, the Lafayette area businesses here in Lafayette Parish, but, across the entire region?
It is. And one of the things that's just terrific about where our region is going is that at the same time that we're seeing stronger capabilities at the regional level across all 9 parishes, we're also seeing significant enhancements being made at the local level. Ann's a great example of that. But before Ann took this important new role for Vermilion Parish did not have a full-time professional economic developer working at the local level on their behalf. And so we've got a terrific new partner in Ann Falgout, but as strong as she is, and she's one of the strongest economic development leaders in our entire region. But at the end of the day, no matter how strong a person is at the local level, for the most part, you're going to be one person, maybe one person with an assistant at the local level. So if you do not have a regional team supporting you and providing additional capacity, particularly for the bigger projects, the bigger opportunities, there's going to be some potential that we cannot unlock. And so it's critically important to have this kind of partnership, not just to better tell our story, but to do all of the things that we need to do to make our opportunity even more compelling.
We're talking with Jason L. Koubi. I'm sorry, Jason. We're talking Jason L. Koubi and Ann Falgout, if you're just now joining us, talking about One Acadiana. You know, Jason, I know you're going to get tired of me asking this question because I seem to ask it every single time you walk into the building regarding One Acadiana, but I ask it because we keep getting asked. I mean, Ann, one of the concerns that a lot of our listeners had is that, you know, One Acadiana was just seeking to be this upstart, trying to usurp the power of all of the other regional chambers. I say regional chamber, all of the other parish chambers of commerce, etc. Is that the sense that you get from One Acadiana?
Absolutely not. You know, our job as local economic development professionals is to be on the radar, to stay on the list, right? To really kind of compete with other major metropolitan areas. And like Jason said, there's only one of me. And so having a team to stand behind me and provide information and help me tell the story, leverage our resources as a region as opposed to just me kind of trying to tackle it as a 60,000 person parish, it's been very complimentary. It hasn't, absolutely hasn't been overpowering at all. It's very collaborative. You know, if you've met Jason, you know that he's a team player and really loves to listen. And has great advice when I decide to listen to. So it's been a great partnership.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that might be helpful to some of the listeners out there is to know that this is not consolidation. This is collaboration. Acadiana, before we did the campaign for One Acadiana, had about 10% of the resources that our competitor regions were investing at the regional level. So this was a way to really close the competitive gap and to do everything possible to advance this region for our businesses and for our families. And we're doing all of that in close collaboration with folks who are leading economic development, who are leading their business communities at the local level. And so at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is provide a stronger partnership by pulling together a strong regional team. This is not about this is not about telling communities or even assuming that we have the answers for the issues and opportunities that they might have on the local level. So this is not about, One Acadiana is not going to tell anybody how they ought to run their school system in Vermilion Parish or how how to fix up Main Street in Opelousas. This is really about because you have local leaders working on those issues at the local level, and we respect that. What One Acadiana really is about addressing the region-wide issues, I-49 South, the regional transportation network, about workforce development, things that are intrinsically regional in nature, about telling the story of our region. With the new metropolitan area definition, we've shot up the list. We were just before this happened. We were I think the 100 we shot up 59 places to 108. So I think we were the 167th largest metro area, and we became the 108th largest metropolitan area because folks across our country are recognizing that the social and economic relationships in our region are very, very strong. And what we're doing with One Acadiana is creating the capacity to really leverage that and to tell our story and to make this whole region stronger.
We've got a legislative session coming up in next week?
That's right.
Next Monday's when it starts.
Literally a week from today.
Yeah. What are your plans?
We're gearing up for that. One of the opportunities that everyone listening has to learn more about this is coming up this Friday, April 10th, at end of this week. We One Acadiana are partnering with UL to do a legislative forum. We're going to have some legislators there on a panel to answer questions from the public about what's coming up this legislative session. Anybody can come and participate in that. That's going to be at the P-Card Center on UL's campus at 8:30 this Friday, April 10th.
Jason L. Koubi and Ann Falgout joining us this morning to talk about One Acadiana. Jason, real quick, where can our listeners go for more information about One Acadiana?
OneAcadiana.org.
That's really simple and to the point. And Jason, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. We really appreciate it. 7:21 here.